Thank you for attending our additional press briefing. We'll talk now about how the fourth wave of mobilization is going on and what the problems are in the regions. And I give the floor to Mr. Oleksiy Pokotylo, who is Deputy Head of the Main Department on National Security and Defense of the Administration of the President of Ukraine. The floor is yours. Good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen. Today we're meeting with you on a very important issue. This is the events of the fourth wave of mobilization defined by the decree of the President of Ukraine and happens all around the country. And the main task of this fourth wave is to provide for the rotation of military servicemen who were mobilized during the first wave of mobilization according to presidential decree of March 2014, and to create the necessary reserve in order to perform combat duties in designated areas. You have more than once heard who is being drafted, but I will probably dwell on this because some people might not know this. First of all, the patriotically inclined citizens of Ukraine will be drafted into the ranks of the armed forces, who have a respective level of physical of state of health and military specialists from 20 to 60 years of age, who have respective military specialties, mechanics, specialists in artillery, tank drivers, communication specialists, repairmen, drivers, and also specialists of in logistics, in radio electronic combat. And there are some specifics. People who have served in the army and got a military specialty will be drafted from the age of 20. As people who are 25 years or older will be drafted even if they don't have the experience of military service, and people from 55 to 60 will be drafted mostly as volunteers. Also, everybody will have to go through medical checkup, and they will go through a comprehensive medical checkup, including hepatitis, AIDS, and fluorography, X-raying. Those who are recognized as able-bodied are already sent to training centers, and the General Staff has defined the list of training centers: Desna, Yaurev, Zhytomyr, Vasilkiv, Poltava, and Haisin. And there at those training centers, the drafted, the mobilized people will undergo training for 30 days, instructed by people who have respective experience and who have taken part in combat action in the anti-terrorist operation zone. Obligatory for everybody are practical training in firing and from small firearms and from armored vehicles. Also the tactics of the action during the battle, and after the training the personnel will be sent to units where they will be trained at testing grounds in Shiroký Lan, Novomoskovsk, and elsewhere. Over 15 days they will undergo the battle combat preparation. At the testing grounds, they will get practical skills in tactical actions of units in different stages of combat, and they will also take part in tactical maneuvers and tactical training in combat shooting. Special attention is given to reserve officers who will be trained on the basis of higher military educational establishments, and this set of events will allow to raise the level of preparation of military personnel, and only after the end of such training at the level of platoon, company, battalion, and when they are equipped with all the necessary ammunition, the mobilized will be sent to perform combat duties. At the moment, the summons were given to over 100,000 people, and over 58,000 people went through medical checkup. Almost 16,000 military personnel were sent as of today to training centers, and they are undergoing preparation. Over 3,700 volunteers came to military commissariats. As a rule, many of them, according to their state of health, do not meet the requirements, and as a result, as a rule, they who do not go through medical checkup, who are not recognized able-bodied, will serve in the territorial defense units. As far as the mobilization is concerned, we have to say that Vinnytsia region is providing for 100% of the mobilization task. As far as personnel and transportation is concerned. And Khmelnytsky region is also among the best, where the percentage is 80% in Kirovograd region. And we are quite sure that they will fulfill the task to the rate of 100%. However, there is delay in Kharkiv, Sumy, Ternopil, Ivano-Frankivsk regions, where the index of delivery of human and transportation resources amounts to 25 to 35%.
Article 23 of the law of Ukraine on mobilization states that the persons who are recognized by medical commission temporarily not able to serve, they are delayed from the service for 6 months. The men who have 3 or more children under 18, these men can be drafted only at their consent. Women which have children under 18, the citizens who are taking care of persons who require, in accordance with the legislation of Ukraine, the students and postgraduate students who studied the form of studies. The law of Ukraine on mobilization provides for that all the citizens of Ukraine drafted for 1 year have their position and salary preserved, and the salary is compensated in the amount of the average salary in their company. Besides, the citizens who are serving in the army get monetary support as servicemen. You have seen recently the presentation of the resolution of the Cabinet of Ministers number 24 on special features of paying to the servicemen during ATO and during the special period. According to this resolution, the servicemen of all the categories get monetary remuneration depending on the efficiency of the military unit for eliminating of the enemy's weaponry and military equipment. In accordance with the decree of the President of Ukraine, the central and local authorities, the law enforcement bodies of Ukraine have additional tasks of supporting the partial mobilization in 2015. That is Presidential Decree number 40 from January. In accordance with the decree, the administration of the President controls the measures of the fourth wave of mobilization. On the 31st of January, under the leadership of the First Deputy Head of the Administration, Kovalchuk, had the select conference, the conference call with the heads of administrative units. During the conference call, they discussed all the issues related to ensuring all the mobilization measures. During this week, the representatives of the presidential administration inspected the situation with the mobilization and supply of those who are of draft age. According to that inspection, it was stated that all the measures of mobilization are conducted at an adequate level, but at the same time there were some problems identified. First of all, inappropriate attitude of some representatives of authorities and local authorities to the measures of ensuring mobilization, and the proper cooperation with military commissars, the lack of responsibility for high-quality execution of all the tasks, the level of preparedness of some specialists, and lack of experience do not allow to implement all these tasks completely. There are cases when the heads of some village or settlement councils refuse to personally deliver the collab papers to the draft age persons who live on their territories. Unfortunately, there are many cases like that. I personally went to the some districts of Chernihiv region, and 5-8 collab papers are in some village councils, and there are heads of village councils who give one or two and they return others, and they say that this person doesn't live there or is now at the hospital or whatever. To remove all these problems, the presidential administration of Ukraine prepares certain instructions. We are planning to organize similar type of work in other regions of Ukraine. Starting from next week, in accordance with the agreement with the regional administrations and the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, there will be the meetings held, and will be inspecting the training centers. This week we are inspecting the training center Disna. The representatives of administration, regional councils, and mass media participate in such type of inspection. We are planning to approve the plan of works and the representatives of the presidential administration will be visiting such centers in the future.
There is also this work with the aim to broadly cover, will be covered in the press and in television channels. Thank you for your attention. Any questions, colleagues? Yes. Representatives of law enforcement bodies are informing that they are detaining people for trying to avoid mobilization. What are the criteria to define a person who avoids mobilization? According to the law of Ukraine on mobilization and mobilization preparation, there's a list of persons who are being drafted or mobilized during the mobilization, and all the military obliged persons obligated to for call-up have to undergo the medical checkup, and on the basis of the medical commission's decision, they are considered able-bodied or not able-bodied, and then they are being sent to military units. If a person does not arrive or does not get the summons, then a military commissar has all the grounds to address through the services of the Ministry of Interior in order to make clear the reasons why where this person is. So not only the person who got the summons and hasn't arrived, but also those who haven't got the summons. First of all, those who have got the summons and did not arrive. At the moment, I tell you that there's quite a lot of refuseniks. Today we heard rumors that people from military commissariats are going around the flats and are looking for people in order to hand the summons in. And our colleague, for instance, was visited at midnight. Do they have the legal right to do so? According to the law on mobilization, this task is bestowed on the heads of local councils, and in order to rectify the situation and in order to embrace most of people who are obliged to be mobilized by the decision of the heads of district administrations, groups are being set up composed of the representative of local military commissariat and district administration and local police, and as a rule they are working round the clock. Then another question, there are also some people we know who have gone through combat action through Afghanistan and or some border guards, veterans who go voluntarily and they are not being drafted. Why do they draft people, young people who don't have any experience, but those who have the experience are being refused? I don't know such cases. Military commissariats are enlisting every volunteer, unless, of course, there are some grounds where the state of health hinders them to go to military service. Yesterday, Angela Merkel was in Kiev. She talked to Poroshenko. Now she flew to Russia to talk to Putin. What results can we expect from this, if this is your competence, of course? No, this is not my competence, but I'll tell you that everything that's being done at diplomatic level is being done in order to achieve peace as soon as possible. Thank you. What is the stage of mobilization in Kiev? How many people were drafted in thousands or in percent rate?
In Kiev, the representatives of administration of the president are controlling the mobilization measures in Kiev regional, Kiev city, and some district military commissariats. Just today, our representatives were working in the Buchiv district commissariat. I can tell you that today there are no significant problems in Kiev or Kiev region. The collab papers which were to be given, they were given 80% of them, and the leadership, commandership of Kiev Military Regional Commissariat, of Kiev Municipal Commissariat are doing everything to execute the plans in accordance with the resolution of the General Staff of Ukraine. We would like to hear, if possible, could you tell what are the main problems in the regions? What are the problematic regions? You were talking about Chernigiv region and the problem when the heads of village councils do not give the collab papers to people. What are the problems out there? Mostly in the oblast that I mentioned. Which oblast, which regions? And these are
Харківська область.
Kharkiv region, first of all. Sumy, Ternopil, Ivano-Frankivsk regions, where the indicator with the supply of resources is very low.
Ну, перш за все, там
First of all, the problem is related to what? If you take Kharkiv region, that is a bordering region. There are many of those who left abroad. There are many of those of draft age who, because of the state of their health, cannot be drafted.
є
And there are objective reasons, of course, but non-objective are that you cannot hand in the collab papers to people who are obliged to answer the collab. They are not there, they don't live where they are registered, they go to hospitals. How do we cope with this? How do we cope? It's understood that the situation is difficult in these issues, but at the moment the work is being conducted, first of all with district councils and regional and district administrations, then on TV channels, there are addresses, and the military commissars are addressing the population with information. We should work with the families, and there's an information campaign about the necessity of to perform their constitutional duty. We have another 3 questions. Can you please be more precise? Can you explain once more the situation that was discussed very actively, that you need a certificate from the military commissariat to go abroad? Do people actually need them? As of today, according to the law of the mobilization, the people of draft age have to inform the military commissariat about the change of their place of residence. There are no legal grounds to ban the travel of those people abroad. At the moment, we are working on the respective changes to the law, and this is being done by the general staff. And those who are coming back from abroad, they are obliged to register for military duty at once if they are within the age limit, and if they are go through the medical checkup, then they can they be sent to the commission right at the border if they are coming back from the European Union or Russia? No, we don't do this. This will be another mem. There are different publications, but so far everything is on the legal level. What about the draft? Maybe there will be a draft.
Yeah, we're considering the issue about drafting for service. There is the draft decree of the president prepared. It's being approved, and it's now analyzed by experts. It could be in March, in April, May, or June could be issued. If those who are delivering the call-up papers, if they do not find the person, is that considered to be avoiding now? The person of draft age should receive this call-up paper either personally or from the relatives, or if some of the relatives who live together with potential draftee receive this paper and the person doesn't go to the commissariat. Well, it depends on the person itself. Then please explain if hypothetically the father receives this call-up paper, the son saw it but did not go to the commissariat, what is how to for avoiding the mobilization in accordance with the legislation. We provide for administrative and criminal responsibility, 2-3 years. There are cases when parents say the son is at work, give me, I sign, and I will give it to the son. Any other clarifications, questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you again for clarifying the situation. I invite you to participate in visiting our training centers where those who were mobilized will be doing some